Good morning and welcome to my channel. I'm here today using up my card supplies in journals, and I have this pack of cards from Hobbycraft I've had for years. Again, no idea when. They're called wardrobe cards. You open them like this. So my plan is to cover these and make a little small kind of mini journal with them. So I've also chosen the embroidery sampler kit. This is not all of it, there's loads of it, from Junk with Steph. And my plan is to cover these. So for instance, first of all, this sort of length here, or this one, is quite good for covering the front of these. So I think I'm going to put them either side of that. Then you have the bit in the middle, and I thought one of these would be the sort of bit in the middle here, along with this one or this one here, one of the two, and then the other one will go on the back here. Then on the front, on these sides, I've got these here, which I thought could go either side, or even that one, not sure which yet. So one of these two. So what I'm going to do is go out and cut all the pieces. One of the other things I've got to do as well is take this and find my brush that has the tea dye on, so that I can ink all round the edges when I'm using the Distress Oxide tea dye. It seems to go quite well with the kit. So I've got to go round all these edges as well. Okay, I've cut my papers out for where I want them. I've glued the two on the front that go like this. And that's because I'm now going to put two little circles here with brads to tie. I cut them out here and different sizes and papers, and I use them for my ties. And then I've also got two brads here. So I get my foam, and I'm having to do this before I put any other on, so that the brads will get covered up on this side. So I start off with one, and then trying to roughly, so I'm just above that blue there, put it there, and then I just poke the brad through. Oh dear. You have to push it quite hard through, and then put that down there. And again, the idea of actually using my metal ruler, I think I've shown you this before, if you press down on that, it really flattens out the brad on the other side, as you can see there. And then I get a bit of washi tape and just stick this over like that, and then I get this, and this will cover here. I have inked all these in Distress Oxide tea dye as well. Whoops. And as you can see, I've done all round the edge of the card. Just make sure I've got this the right way up and that one the right way up, and then I just put that over the top. Move that out of the way for the minute, like that. Okay, so I now need to do the other one, and for that I get my pencil, ruler, and roughly put this where I want it, which is about there. Actually, no, sorry, done that wrong. What I do is I poke my hole first in this, then put this roughly where I want it, over a bit there, so it's level up a bit. I do generally eyeball it, I don't do measurements on this sort of thing, and I then make a mark on the paper, and again push this through. Whoops, with this. So I'm not sure if I've asked you, I hope you're all well. Not sure when this is coming out. I'm trying to get some filming done before I go off again to see my son in Dubai. I'm looking forward to that. I'm seeing a new well, she's not new, she's 2 years old, and I've not seen her. She was born during COVID, and they had quite strict restrictions over there. And I wasn't keen on sitting on a plane on one of the big Airbuses with lots of people last year. Well, 2021 really. And then we moved whoops, I need to pull that over. And then we moved last year, so that was sort of out, having moved house. Oh dear, this is a bit, yeah, not too worried by it. There. So that goes round like that. And what I've got to do next is then get some cotton. Here, I'm using some embroidery thread. And decide which colour goes with it. Oh, that one. No, I'm quite liking that one. Or a paler one, actually. I think I quite like the paler one. Or I go for a dark. No. I think this one I will use. So what I do with this, I just tie this round here. Oops, like that. So yes, I've got to catch up with my new granddaughter, sort of new granddaughter as I say, and then and my son and his wife, and I've got a 7-year-old grandson there as well. So we're not doing a lot. I've been there quite a few times, so we're not doing much sightseeing. I think we're going to go off into the desert for a while, to a hotel to stay, but not sure what we're doing after that. I'm over there for about 10 days, but as I said, it's about staying around with the children, around the pool, and enjoying being with them, really. And now I'm going to leave this a bit longer because I want to put some beads on it eventually. So what I'm going to do now is take this off, and I'm going to stick the rest of these on. This one's going in here, that one's down the side there, and then I have this one for the back here. So I've just got to go and glue all those on. Okay, I've stuck everything on, and I've chosen 3 beads that I'm going to put on the end there. And the way I put my beads on, because it's quite difficult when you're using embroidery thread, so as you can see, I've done this a few times. I put a bit of a glue stick on the bottom and then twirl it and that usually enables me, yep, says me with it stuck to my fingers, there, to push it through. So I will now do these. Okay, so I've done that. You can see I've got the 3 little beads on there. So now I want to make the signature up, and I've got a piece of leftover coffee dye paper. This is a scrap of vintage book page, I think from the 60s, and then this is a side piece of I don't know what you call it, page edge that I just made up from a scrap stuck on there. And then I found this piece that I've folded like that just to make some pockets to go in. And then I've also got an old receipt book that I've just had given to me. So I'm just going to trim this down as well. Like that. So this can go in. Put that in there. I think I'll make the book page the middle. Oh, sorry, I don't know if you can see that. I'll make the book page the middle, put that in there. I think I'll put that on there. And then I've got this one, which is dyed craft paper, and this needs a small piece taken off this side. There, and it may need some, yeah, taken off the edge here. Not sure, let's see. Put the holes at the top, I think. There's only a few sheets. No, I need a little bit more taken off. Oops. Do you think that's enough? Yeah, that's enough. And I think the top is fine. Undo this. So now all I need to do is sew that into there. Yep, so I'll just sew that small signature into this card. Oh, maybe a bit of that needs coming off as well. Okay, I've sewn the signature in, and what I'm going to do now is, you remember these circle tags that I had on the other project doing the challenge for the journal cards? See, I still just fold over a bit. I've got a solution to that. But anyway, before I get to that bit, I've got this here, and I'm even using up the glues I found. And what I'm doing, I'm putting these little tiny circle ones you get with the Digital Collage Club. I mean, to be truthful, you can enlarge these circles if you wanted to, these little ones, but I've actually found them quite handy to stick on the end here. So I've also edged them in tea dye, not that you can probably see it very well, but I've thought, oops, these are quite handy just to put on here. They are fiddly because they are small, but it just adds a bit inside there. You've also got the pockets that I've sort of made. You can glue down if you have you decide to. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I've chosen a few pieces here. Again, this is in keeping with trying to keep my using up what I've got. These are different cards. I think this one was Yvonne, oh, it might have been Artie Mays. That one on Yvonne Preston, I can't remember. Artie Mays, I think. That goes on there quite well. So it's sort of, it's not a cover, but it kind of is. In fact, that does just about. I'd have to trim it a bit. There's this one. Again, I would have to trim this one, I think, right down the sides. It's quite nice. But my favourite, I think, is this one, which I'm pretty certain this is Yvonne Preston. So I'm going to ink round the edge and glue this one on. There, so this goes over, and this ties up round here, like this. Okay, so as well as doing this one where you've got the little journal inside, I've also made one here, and I've used the Ava Maria kit from Paper Cameo. I've done a plain sheet on the back. However, what you could also do with ones like this that aren't so thick is actually stick these in to your journal, whereas these are better off in a pocket or being clipped on the side. So with this one, I've put a little charm, religious charm, on the bottom there, and then again the same closure. Open it up, and I've got a journal card inside that I've put onto some handmade paper. Well, this isn't a journal card, this is part of a page that I've made into a journal card. All of it is made out of the pages, the papers, not specific ephemera. And again, you could decorate more if you wanted to with these bits here. And as I say, this because it is quite thin, could also be put into a stuck into a journal rather than clipped in, but it does give you a thinner option to those. Anyway, that's both of my altered card supplies. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll speak to you again soon. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, would be great, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.